John Donne was born on the 22nd of January 1572 in London. He was an English poet, scholar, soldier, secretary, lawyer, and is also known as the founder of the metaphysical school of poetry. His poetic works are noted for their metaphorical and sensual style and include sonnets, love poems, religious poems, Latin translations, epigrams, elegies, songs, and satires. He is also very popular for his sermons. John Donne was well educated, but despite his great education and poetic talents, John Donne lived in poverty for several years and relied on his wealthy friends for his living. Okay, he spent much of the money he had on womanizing, literature, pastimes, and travel. In 1601, Donne secretly married Anne More, with whom he had 12 children. He died on 31st March 1631 in London. That Be Not Proud is one of Donne's holy sonnets, and it has a strong religious moral. It was first published in 1633. This sonnet has 14 lines with a rhyme scheme ABBA, ABBA, CDDC, EE. In the poem, the poet speaks directly to that. It tells that it has no right to be proud and boastful, since human beings do not die but live eternally after one short sleep. So he compares death to sleep in this poem. And he tells that, okay, not to be proud or boastful. Although that may be dreadful, mighty, and powerful to some people, but in reality it is just a slave. The poem beautifully ends by saying that death itself is mortal, and at the end, death will die as we human beings enter eternity, never to die again. That be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. In this poem, that has been personified, yet that has been given a human quality. So the poet talks directly to that, telling it not to be proud, even though some have regarded it to be mighty and dreadful. In reality, it is not so. So the poet challenges that, telling it not to be proud, as it is not mighty and dreadful as some people regard it to be. For those whom thou thinkest thou overthrow, die not, poor dead, nor yet canst thou kill me. The poet continues to address dead and said, you are proud because you think you had killed so many people, but in reality they don't die. He tells dead that death cannot kill him either. So Donne calls death poor thing in these lines. Okay, he makes fun of death. The poet pities death for its powerlessness and vulnerability. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasures then from thee, much more must flow, and sooner our best men with thee go, rest of their bones and souls' delivery. In these lines, the poet compares death to rest and sleep. Okay, he says that resting or sleeping is just a picture or copy of death. When we sleep, it is comfortable and peaceful, right? So the poet says we derive a great deal of pleasure from resting and sleeping. So that gives even greater pleasure. The poet also says that it is the best human beings who die young. Okay, young men who die are the ones God loves most. He further tells that death can kill only the bodies of a person but not the soul. Okay, that actually gives rest to our bones and the souls become free and immortal. So that is not fearful or terrible as we think. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and do with poison, war, and sickness dwell. And poppies or charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke. Why swellest thou then? The poet says that death is a slave to fate, chance, kings, and bad men. Death has no reason to be proud. It is simply a slave. Okay, it is nothing on its own. It is powerless. So it is a slave. It has to seek the help of fate, chance, kings, wicked men, poison, war, and sickness. He also says that poppies or opium can also make us sleep and actually make our sleep even better. So the poet says, why are you so proud? Why are you swelling with pride? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. In the ending couplet, the poet says that death is like a short sleep. Okay, when a person dies, a person is sleeping, after which our souls will wake one day to live eternally, and death shall be no more as death itself will die. Okay, death has no reason to be proud because at the end, death itself will die because death has no power over the soul of a person.